transform the country. But until people realize that we have the power to transform the country, or we will get the power to transform the country with their support, we will not get the vote. So ultimately we must break this vicious cycle, and the people must be enabled to realize it's their power, their vote, their awareness, and their dreams about a better India that will transform the country, and we are merely a vehicle, a platform. Once we understand that, even 30% vote, substantially urban or educated, or better off, or enlightened, even that will have profound consequences not merely in the state but in the country. We all owe it ourselves to work hard and work together to bring about the transformation, instead of merely describing the problems and despairing and complaining and criticizing. In a democracy, the only antidote to the flaws of the system is better democracy and more democracy. Lok Satta has created a platform. It is fighting as hard as is humanly possible on behalf of the people. Now all of us must own this platform, fight for what is right, and transform the country. And that's how big change really happens.
And if you see the real situation in the politics now, it is totally corrupted. And even in the panchayat elections, I've heard of some panchayats wherein they have spent around 1,500 rupees per vote. And before they go into the election booth, polling booth, they just distribute 1,000 or 2,000 rupee notes to buy that vote particularly. And if some people really, who are really young and doesn't know anything about this kind of corruption really want to enter into politics, then what is your suggestion, and what are the troubles in the beginning?
First, we must understand why people are taking money to vote for this candidate or that candidate. In fact, often they take money from both or more than two candidates and voting for whomever they like. What it means is that money does not guarantee victory, but money has become a necessary means, and distributing money as a bribe to voters has become a necessary means to be a serious candidate in elections. It is a fact, let us accept that. But money does not guarantee victory. You cannot overcome this by merely some preaching. First, we must make people understand that the value of the vote that they cast is much, much, much greater than the money they receive to exercise the franchise, to give the ballot. Now, Lok Satta has been saying for 13 years now that the total tax money spent by a family of, let us say, 5 people, spent by a family of 5 people by the government on our behalf is something like 3 lakh rupees in 5 years. Now, the money given may be 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees per vote. Once people understand that they are bartering away their vote for 1,000 or 2,000 rupees, but in return they are giving the authority to the people elected to spend 3 lakh rupees in a period of 5 years on their behalf, then they will realize that they are being fleeced, they are being hoodwinked, and they will exercise their franchise better. Right now, the belief is that money will not guarantee victory, but if you do not spend money to buy the vote, it will guarantee defeat. But even this myth is exploded in Kukatpalli. Why did people of Kukatpalli vote to elect Lok Satta? There is nothing special there, except that everybody in the state wanted this to happen, and the people of Kukatpalli responded because it has become almost like a movement. We did not spend money, very little money for genuine campaigning, and no money at all to distribute money or liquor, and we simply told them what is required for the country. People volunteered in large numbers. They decided that they must make an example of this. They wanted this hope of transformation of India kept alive, and they have done it. Therefore, we must not despair that while money is playing a role, and sadly vote purchase is a very common feature, most of the candidates from the traditional parties, they are spending big money in order to garner the vote. The reality is most of the people in India are also sick and tired of the system, and they want to bring about change. In order to make people vote without money, we must give them confidence. We must give them confidence in 2 ways. One is that what we will do once we are in office will provide the people much greater relief or support than any money given by any political party before the election or after the election. That this money will be better utilized and it will have direct outcomes to each person and each family. The second is, we must also give confidence to the people that we are potentially winners. Why did the Lok Satta candidate in Kukatpalli win, but in other places did not win? Because in Kukatpalli, people believed, not only in the constituency but across the state, that the candidate is most likely to win. Because they wanted with all their hearts the candidate to win. So once that confidence is there, people start voting for you. If the confidence is not there, they desire this change, but they will think somebody else will achieve this, and there will not be any effort on the part of the people to bring about the change that is required. People become passive agents. Now that must be transformed by the understanding, by the evocative power of the leadership, and by getting in the right kind of leadership, the capable leadership, young people, women, the people who are deprived, people who want transformation of India. Now, what can a new leader in Lok Satta party do to change the situation and to make the real change possible, the way we are all seeking? The first is, we must all believe that most Indians, they want the transformation that we are all fighting for. They may not say it aloud regularly. They may keep quiet most of the time, but they all know what is wrong with the country and they want the change. Once that is true, what we have to do is reach the people. Let the message be known as widely as possible. Then give the people an opportunity to fulfill their needs locally. That's why citizen health centers is an important institutional innovation that Lok Satta is fighting for. Once people have that innovation and that platform available, they will actually see results flowing over a period of time, and therefore the dependence on the political parties or their candidates to give money to them and to be an influence peddler is no longer there. And therefore even this step can make a significant change possible in the country. And finally, we must give confidence to the people that we are potentially winners, not merely do-gooders, nice guys, but we're also potentially winners. The majority of the people want this kind of change, but they're not willing to fight for that at personal cost because they're afraid that this change will not happen easily. Of course, no big change ever happened easily, but great changes do happen when we come together. Our real challenge is not to make anybody a great hero, but to give people the confidence that what is right will also win. Once people realize that Lok Satta is the one that enjoys the public confidence, the bulk of the votes will really be cast in favor of Lok Satta. Already, in many gatherings across the country in India, Lok Satta is regarded as a unique institution, giving immense opportunity to the people of the country and bringing about the transformation. Once people understand that it's their platform, and it's not about who will win or who will lose, but it's about whether the people will win, no matter which party wins or loses. Once people understand the value of the vote, then everything will change, and that's exactly what Lok Satta is fighting for. Now, we need champions, we need fighters, we need young people, credible people with leadership qualities, and we need those people to come in and transform the country, taking this a second freedom struggle. There are no shortcuts. You want to change India, you have to work with the people of India, inspire them, and give them the opportunity to understand, harness their energies, and bring about the changes that are required. And I am supremely confident that if only the right kind of people with the right education, intelligence, commitment, passion, and constitutional values in the country, if they come forward, then most certainly the electoral hurdles we are facing, they will be overcome, and Lok Satta will be a major, mainstream but non-traditional party that will be a part of the solution that will transform India. And that need not take 5 or 10 years, that can happen immediately, because people are getting ready increasingly. And therefore we have to fight and fight hard and consistently and with diligence, and then we'll win. And certainly that's what Lok Satta is aiming at.
Last two activities, so for this much of work to bring a change in the current situation. Post office really voter registration, like to say